Stop animating the hard way. In this video, I'm sharing 5 advanced AI workflows that will instantly upgrade your motion graphics. From complex frame-by-frame turnarounds to instant stop-motion assets, these aren't just tools, they are production hacks. Let's dive in. Take a look at this scene. It appears to be a 3D environment, but it actually started as a single, flat, 2D image. Traditionally, achieving this parallax effect required hours of tedious masking in Photoshop. Instead, I'm using Gemini with Nano Banana Pro to generate a GTA-style illustration. Here is the workflow. Instead of cutting elements manually, I ask the AI to generate the characters and objects separately on a white background. Pro tip: to ensure the background is pure white for easy removal, always include the hex code in your prompt. I download the assets and move to Photoshop. Since we used the hex code, removing the background takes just one click, and I save them as transparent PNGs. Finally, inside After Effects, you have 2 options depending on your project. You can set up a full 3D camera for depth, or simply animate the scale and position of the layers to achieve a convincing parallax effect in less time. Let's move on to the next trick. Look at this crumpled paper animation. Traditionally, creating this requires hours of frame-by-frame stop-motion photography. But here, we eliminated the camera entirely. I generated this image sequence using AI. I've placed the exact prompt in the video description, so you can use it in Nano Banana Pro or any other model. Pro tip: make sure to ask the AI for a green background. This makes isolating the paper much easier in the next step. Inside Photoshop, we have 2 tasks. Remove the green screen and place each paper stage on a separate layer. It is crucial to save this as a PSD file so that we retain the individual layers when importing into After Effects. Import the PSD into After Effects. To make things easier, first center the anchor point for every layer. Assign 1 or 2 frames of duration to each layer. Select them all and use sequence layers to stack them sequentially. Finally, select all the paper layers and pre-compose them. Now for the magic. Duplicate your paper pre-comp and rename it Matte. Place your desired image or logo below the matte layer. Set the image's track matte to the layer above. You'll see the image instantly take the shape of the crumbling paper. To add realism, animate the image's rotation and position slightly as the paper crumples to simulate the gathering movement. Finally, nest everything into a main composition and add a drop shadow effect to finish the look. Collage animation. This is arguably one of the most timeless and visually striking styles in motion design. The juxtaposition of vintage elements with surreal or modern concepts always creates a unique aesthetic. But anyone who has attempted collage animation knows that the animation itself isn't the hardest part. The real struggle is sourcing the assets. Historically, we had to spend hours scouring stock websites or scanning old magazines just to find that one specific vintage character or object. But with AI, that roadblock is gone. Here, I used Nano Banana Pro again. With a single prompt, which I've included in the description, I generated every asset I needed for my scene in one go. The reason I recommend Nano Banana Pro here is its output resolution, reaching near 4K. In collage art, crisp edges are essential for cutting, and this model delivers exactly the high fidelity we need. The workflow is straightforward. Download the generated sheet, bring it into Photoshop to separate the layers, and you are ready to animate. This technique frees you up to spend your time on creativity and composition, rather than hunting for images. Now, the actual animation techniques inside After Effects deserve a dedicated tutorial. The good news is, I've already made one. I have a comprehensive, step-by-step guide on collage animation on this channel. You can find the link in the cards above and in the description below. If you love this style, I highly recommend watching that video next. We all know that in motion graphics, vector is king. Infinite scalability with zero quality loss. But drawing vectors from scratch in Illustrator is time-consuming. So, I used AI models like Nano Banana Pro or ChatGPT to generate an image in a clean, flat vector style. But there is a catch. The output is still a raster image, made of pixels. If you zoom in, it blurs. We need to convert this to an SVG. There are many tools like Recraft that do this, but let me share my honest experience. Nothing beats vector magic. Its ability to trace edges and separate colors is simply superior to anything else on the market. Now, you might say, but the desktop license for Vector Magic is expensive. You are right. Here is my solution. Use the web version. It is significantly cheaper and delivers the exact same high-quality results. Just upload your AI image and get a clean, layered SVG back. And here's another secret for those who want to save even more money. Platforms like Recraft often require a monthly subscription, which adds up. Instead, I recommend using Replicate. They operate on a pay-as-you-go model. This means you only pay for what you use. It is insanely cheap. Generating about 100 images will cost you roughly $1. This is pure savings without sacrificing any quality. And finally, trick number 5. Look at this character rotation. In the world of motion design, this frame-by-frame style is the ultimate flex. Traditionally, drawing a character from 8 different angles with this level of consistency would take a skilled artist weeks of work. But here, we achieve that expensive hand-drawn look in minutes. The secret lies in how we ask the AI. I used a model like Nano Banana Pro, but there is a critical trick. You must specify a super wide aspect ratio in your prompt. Why? Because we need the AI to generate all angles in a single horizontal strip. This forces the model to keep the character's details consistent across every frame, which is usually the hardest part of traditional animation. Once we sequence these layers in After Effects, we get that beautiful, stepped animation look. To enhance that classic 2D aesthetic, I add a subtle directional blur between the pose changes. We are not trying to hide the frame jumps, we are embracing them. This is exactly what gives it that high-end traditional animation feel. Finally, pre-compose it and animate the camera. Now you have a complex frame-by-frame character loop that adds huge production value to your work without drawing a single line.